Global TV News Prime. Senate has approved further extension for capital component of 2024 national budget. In business, National Assembly to approve the full implementation of 758 billion naira treasury bond. And on the foreign scene, Trump says strikes cause total obliteration. And in sports, Neymar signs for 6 months with Santos. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime and Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. My name is Godwin Sunday. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. You can download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app from your Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. And now to the news in details. The Nigerian Senate has approved a further extension for the capital component of the 2024 national budget, moving the implementation deadline to December the 31st, 2025. This decision was made during plenary session following the presentation and rapid passage of an amendment bill to the Appropriation Act, which was read and passed through 3 readings in one sitting. Our correspondent, Uyi Agbomo-Fuegbe, has the rest of the story.
The debate was led by Senator Solomon Adeola, chairman of the Senate Committee on Appropriation, who justified the extension by emphasizing the need to complete ongoing projects under the 2024 budget and citing revenue constraints that have delayed capital project execution.
Allow, among other things, the procurement process to be completed, money to be released for the implementation of the capital component of these budgets,
to ensure that no project is abandoned in the course of implementation of the budget, and coupled with the financial inflow challenges that the government experienced, there is need to extend the capital component of this budget.
Some senators, including Abdullah Yahaya and Abdul Ningi, criticized their repeated extensions as indicative of weak execution capacity within ministries, departments and agencies, urging the federal government to provide explanations and calling for a committee inquiry.
Have committed their resources, conducted government work, did everything, but up to now their payments have been stalled. And there are so many projects, in some ministries where even no work has been done in terms of going through the appropriation processes. So I think we need to know what really is happening. So
I'm going to bring a motion sequel to the passage of the bill, which says the Committee on Appropriation and Finance should investigate the recurring dismal of non-implementation of the capital component and report back within 1 week or 2.
Those who have done their jobs, committed their resources, cannot be paid. The benefits of the budget that we all took time to work on and passed has not gotten to the people.
I think that unless we take it very seriously up with the Ministry of Finance, this parliament will become an embarrassment into itself.
Deputy President of the Senate, Barau Jibrin, who presided over the plenary, ruled in favor of the bill following the adoption of the Senate Committee on Supplies report.
The Committee on Appropriations and Finance have the function already enshrined in our rules to do that. So what we are trying to do is to emphasize the need that they should do the needful and then report back to us.
This marks the second extension, with the initial one having shifted the deadline from December 31, 2024 to June 30, 2025 after a request from President Bola Tinubu. In a similar development, the chamber considered and passed the Nigeria Police Trust Fund Amendment Bill, seeking to extend the duration of the trust fund from 6 to 12 years with the aim of enhancing police training, equipment and facilities. Without opposition, the bill was read for the second and third times following the required suspensions of Senate Rule 78, subsection 1.
Of the bill, Mr. President and distinguished colleagues, is basically to amend Section 2, Sub 2 of the Extant Act to extend the duration of the trust fund as established by the Act.
Both bills now await concurrence by the House of Representatives before heading to the President for assent. Uyi Agmofwegbe reporting for Global TV News.
President Bola Tinubu has written to change linking the newly commissioned Wole Soyinka Way to the busy Murtala Mohammed Expressway.
Strategically linking key areas and easing the flow of traffic will unlock new opportunities for commerce, reduce travel time, and contribute directly to increased productivity and a better quality of life for all who traverse these vital routes.
Speaking on the impact of the project, Barrister Nyesom Wike thanked the President for commissioning the project.
Mr. President, we thank you most sincerely and will not take it for granted the love you have shown to the people of FCT and the FCT administration.
Godwin Sunday, reporting for Global Television News. The Nigerian police have arrested 26 suspects for their alleged involvement in the recent massacre at Yewata community in Benue State. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Ekbetokun, made this known in Abuja while briefing journalists. Our security correspondent, Kike Lomo Okere, was there for Global Television.
While addressing journalists in Abuja, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Ekbetokun, says 47 villagers were killed, 2 attackers were killed by the police, and over 100 others were displaced. He pointed out that majority of the suspects were arrested on June 22, 2025. The Inspector General of Police also revealed that 22 suspects have been arrested for killing 12 travelers in Plateau State, while 5 persons have been arrested for killing 2 persons in Benue State this week.
I am pleased to inform you today that 26 persons directly connected to this crime have so far been arrested and their weapons recovered. On 19th June 2025, 2 prime suspects who were masterminds of this attack were apprehended from their hideout. This arrest led to the arrest of 7 other suspects the following day, 20/06/2025. 9 of the passengers were murdered and 3 sustained injuries before our teams could intervene and rescue the remaining 22 victims. So far, 22 suspects have also been arrested in connection with this gruesome act of mob violence. They too will face the full wrath of the law in court.
While decrying the trends of reprisal attack in the country, the police boss says the police will leave no stone unturned to arrest perpetrators. It therefore called on Nigerians to reject violence and embrace peace, regardless of ethnic or religious affiliation.
Let the world know that Nigeria will not bow to terror. Our people will not be silenced by fear. We are not helpless. Nigeria is not hopeless. These criminals may have struck, but we will strike back with the full force of the law. We are not retreating, we are advancing. And we will not stop until every Nigerian can sleep with both eyes closed.
The arrest is coming barely a week after President Bola Tinubu directed the immediate arrest of the killers others who perpetrated the heinous killings of over 100 people in Yewata community in Benue State. Kike Lomo Okere, Global Television News.
There was a heated uproar on the Senate floor following the presentation and review of the ad hoc committee's report on the emergency rule in Rivers State, specifically concerning the screening and approval of the chairman of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, RISIEC. Our correspondent Samuel Odi has the details.
Tensions rose as lawmakers debated the nomination of Michael Ode, a non-indigent, for the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission chairmanship. The appointment sparked strong opposition from several minority party members. Senate Minority Leader Abba Moro and 2 other senators voiced their disappointment, highlighting that the earlier appointment of a sole administrator, also not from Rivers State, had already generated controversies.
And you know that there were some eyebrows raised when he was appointed administrator. Now he has gone to pick a cross-river person again to become chairman of the electoral
I think, order, please. Minority Leader, I have 1 second remaining. 1 second.
At the end of the day, if you say it's politics, there's no problem with it because we are politicians and it's politics that brought us here.
That the committee has reported, I'm okay, but let it be on record that I don't see the necessity of having somebody from another state chairing a local election committee of another state.
If the argument you are giving me now is that you want to get somebody out of Rivers so that the person that will be in charge of this will be unbiased in any way, that is a different thing. But the people should be carried along.
On the other hand, Senate Leader Okpeyemi Bamidele and Chief Whip Senator Tahiru Mongunu defended the nomination, insisting that no constitutional violation had occurred.
The case of Rivers is a peculiar situation. It's an emergency rule. I have all the respect for the people of Rivers State. All the 6 other members, the 6 members are from Rivers. But the chairman we are bringing because we need all the neutrality that we can get.
Despite the disagreement, the report was overwhelmingly adopted by voice votes, confirming the appointment of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission's chairman and members.
Well, as a leader, as a minority leader, I'll give you the chance to speak, but after that, we go to a committee of whole, then we put the nomination to vote.
Thank you.
If you want to defeat it. If it goes fine, but I want to, they can't defeat it. It's politics. Order, please.
Samuel Odi for Global Television News. Thanks.
Ahead of upcoming elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has released a full list of 110 political associations seeking registration. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu made this known at the second regular consultative meeting with media executives in Abuja. Our correspondent Priscilla Obasi reports.
Addressing media executives at the INEC's second regular consultative meeting for the year, the chairman of the commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, confirmed that the commission has received letters of intent from 110 political associations seeking registration as political parties ahead of the future elections and assured that all applications are being processed in accordance with the law and the commission's 2022 regulations and guidelines for political parties. Professor Mahmood Yakubu emphasized that the Commission will remain transparent and impartial in processing all requests, regardless of the social status of the promoters.
As you are aware, the election will be held in 68 constituencies, made up of chairmen and their deputies for the 6 area councils, namely Abaji, the Abuja Municipal Area Council, Amak, Buari, Gwagwalada, Kuje, and Wali, as well as 62 wards for the election of councillors, drawn on the basis of 10 wards for each area council, except Amak, which has 12 wards on account of its population.
Professor Yakubu also dismissed claims that the Commission is stalling or acting under political pressure, describing the allegations as baseless. He noted that except for 6 newly received applications, all letters have been acknowledged and the full list, including proposed party names, acronyms and pro-tem officers, will be published on INEC's website and social media platforms.
The Commission will continue to update you on these and other electoral activities. I urge you to monitor these activities. At the same time, I wish to appeal to you to promptly upload your applications for accreditation of media personnel for the Anambra State Governorship election holding on Saturday, 8th November 2025, as soon as...
INEC chairman provided updates on 2 major electoral events, the FCT Area Council elections and the Anambra Governorship election, where campaigns are currently ongoing, and called on media organizations to submit applications for accreditation ahead of the November 8th polls. He also announced plans to resume continuous voters registration (CVR) and conduct pending by-elections, with details to be released within 24 hours. Priscilla Obasi, Global Television News.
And meanwhile, the Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, has published a notice of the Ekiti State governorship election slated for June the 20th, 2026, stating that bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, shall be used for the accreditation of voters. INEC had last month announced the date for the Ekiti and Osun State governorship elections, but the publication of Wednesday's notice is in line with Section 28, subsection 1 and 2 of the Electoral Act 2022 as amended. The notice states that elections which will commence by 8:30 a.m. shall be conducted in the 2,445 polling units spread across the 16 local government areas, council areas of Ekiti State, while emphasizing that only persons whose name appear on the register of voters and a valid permanent voter's card shall be allowed to vote. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, says Nigeria recently signed a Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, with India to prevent the production of codeine-based syrups for importation into Nigeria. The Apapa Strategic Commander of NDLEA, Buba Wakawa, disclosed this while addressing journalists at the command as part of activities to mark the commemoration of the 2025 International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Drug Trafficking. He said that the event, which has been billed to take place on Thursday, has been themed "The Evidence is Clear, Invest in Prevention, Break the Cycle," which read that it is strengthening actions and cooperation in curtailing the availability, accessibility, and affordability of drugs. You are watching the live broadcast of News Prime. When News Prime returns, Nigerian midstream and downstream petroleum regulatory authorities introduce new requirements for regulation of imported lubricants. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Do you know that global television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch global television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to global television.
And welcome back. In business, the Nigerian Mainstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA, has called together stakeholders for a sensitization of a new requirement introduced by the authority for the regulation of lubricant importation. The regulation has been implemented to ensure that imported lubricant meets the standard requirements of the regulator, thereby preventing adulterated lubricants from entering into the Nigerian market. Our correspondent Sharon Ajay completes the story.
The Executive Director of the Hydrocarbon Processing Plants, Installations and Transportation Infrastructure, Francis Ogeri, emphasized on the need for the lubricant importation regulations as well as to drive production growth and boost economic progress and confidence in the Nigerian market.
To do that is to streamline to meet the shortfalls, like you said, 30-40%. But if these people are encouraged to produce, and they know that we can streamline the 60% that is coming in, then everybody will be compelled to come and invest. And that's the basis of what we are doing.
The Assistant Comptroller General of Customs, Umar Aliyu, has affirmed the customs' readiness to collaborate with all stakeholders in the industry to ensure effective regulation of lubricants.
So it's part of the permit that all the stakeholders that are involved in this industry that will look. And the sensitization that is now going on now within the stakeholders is one of the key approach, because
the executive director of the Lubricant Producer Association of Nigeria, LUBAN, Emeka Obidike, has beckoned on the industry to strengthen the already existing lubricant plant for a more efficient production.
The authorities should be talking of how to strengthen the existing lubricant plants. You see, there's no country that can achieve true greatness with overdependence on foreign products. Every government at every level does everything to strengthen a policy that will help the manufacturing sector.
It has been observed that before the law was put in place to check adulterated lubricants imported into the country, such lubricant did not only damage vehicles but the economy at large. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
And on the foreign scene, President Donald Trump says the U.S. strike on Iran resulted in the total obliteration of the country's nuclear capacities, insisting that the country's atomic program has been set back by decades. President Trump took the victory lap at NATO's Hague summit, joining leaders in reaffirming what he called ironclad commitment to protect each other after allies agreed to his demand to ramp up defense spending. Our foreign correspondent, Uyi Agbomofwegbe, reports.
The U.S. leader appeared keen to take the commendation as he secured a key foreign policy win by getting NATO's 32 countries to agree to meet his headline target of 5% GDP on defense spending.
I believe it was total obliteration. I believe they didn't have a chance to get anything out because we acted fast. If it would have taken 2 weeks maybe, but it's very hard to remove that kind of material. Very hard and very dangerous for them to remove it. Plus, they knew we were coming, and if they know we're coming, they're not going to be down there. There aren't too many people that are going to be down there.
In a move that will provide reassurance to allies in Europe worried over the threat from Russia, Trump signed off on a final leader's declaration confirming commitment to NATO's collective defense pledge that an attack on one is an attack on all. Uyi Agbomofwegbe, reporting for Global TV News.
And in sports, Neymar extended his contract with Brazilian club Santos until the end of 2025 as he attempts to recapture his form in time for next year's World Cup. Neymar started his career at Santos before moving to Barcelona and then Paris Saint-Germain. After an injury-hit spell in Saudi Arabia, he returned to Santos in January on a contract that was due to expire on June the 30th. As Global TV News Prime comes to an end, let's take a look at our top stories. The Nigerian Senate has approved a further extension for the capital component of the 2024 national budget, moving the implementation deadline to December 31st, 2025. And in business, the Nigerian Mainstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority has called stakeholders for sensitization for the new requirements introduced by the authority for the regulation of lubricant importation. On the foreign scene, President Donald Trump says the U.S. strike on Iran resulted in the total obliteration of the country's nuclear capacities, insisting that the country's atomic program has been set back by decades. And in sports, Neymar extends his contract with Brazilian club Santos until the end of 2025 as he attempts to recapture his form in time for next year's World Cup. That's it on Global TV News Prime. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms now showing on your screen using @GlobalTVNG. You can also download the Global TV Nigerian app for your Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. I am Godwin Sunday. Thank you for watching.